Beat the Broadcasters Weekly Picks brought to you by Logan's Roadhouse, 1490 Scabo Road, Fayetteville. The Great American Roadhouse. Let's eat.
Well, here we go. The Unknown Picker ready for Week 4, the first of 8 so-called bye weeks, where 4 teams get the week off. That's the league's way of spreading 16 games over 17 weeks and getting teams a week to regroup, reevaluate, rest up, reset, and otherwise recover from the arduous, stressful pace they've been under since training camp in late July. Might be good timing for 3 of the 4 teams off this week who lost in Week 3, including Carolina, Atlanta, and Arizona. Philadelphia won last week but can use this well-timed break as a non-costly week of healing for Donovan McNabb's broken rib cage. Like everyone, I try to pick 100% correctly. My percentage of correct picks hovering about 75%. 12 of 16 the first week, 11 of 16 in Week 2, and 12 of 16 last week. Better than many, but less than the geniuses at the top of the Beat the Broadcasters leaderboard. Oh well. As my great-grandfather used to tell me, when you play with fire, it's easy to make an ash of yourself. We've got 14 games to pick in Week 4, and it's time to get to it. Tampa Bay and Washington, 2 0-3s that have struggled mightily in September. I like Washington at home. Kansas City hosts to New York's blue team. Despite home turf, I don't think the Flatlanders have it to stop arguably one of the best teams in the league. Go with Eli Manning and the boys from Gotham. Cincinnati, who upended Pittsburgh last week, is another road team with a chance to improve its record against truly hapless Cleveland. Seattle may give the young horses from Indianapolis a game, but Peyton Manning's bunch is tough to beat at home, and I choose Indy. Houston has been up and down this young season, but it's a team finding itself. Hosting a hard-hitting outfit from Oakland that'll surprise some before they're done. I like Houston in this contest. Call it bad timing for Jacksonville, who's a work in progress and better than a lot of people think. However, this week, they host an 0-3 Tennessee team that's out to prove it's not as bad as its record implies. You can't keep a good team down forever, and I like Tennessee in this one. Baltimore is one of the league's best defensive teams, solid offensively as well. They'll give host New England a run for it at Gillette Stadium, but look for New England to prevail in this one. Detroit came off the schneid last week, winning their first regular season game in more than a year. They'll get more wins this year, but won't quite have enough to make it 2 in a row when they invade Soldier Field in Chicago for this black and blue division clash. Starting off Sunday's late afternoon games, rebuilding Buffalo visits Miami, who just last week lost quarterback Chad Pennington for the year with a separated shoulder. It'll be contested, but Miami's misfortune just might be the case for Buffalo to eke out a W. The 2 biggest undefeated surprise teams of this young 2009-10 campaign are Rex Ryan's New York Green unit and Sean Payton's offensive powerhouse from New Orleans, who last week proved it can run too. The New Orleans Superdome, providing a good effort from Drew Brees and company, just may be the difference in this game. I love those aeronautical miracles from New York, but New Orleans has enough offense going for them to get the win. Losing in the last seconds of last week's game in Minnesota's Dome, without the services of their best running back, showed Mike Singletary's Gold Rushers from San Francisco are for real. They need to stick to their knitting, but should have no problems this week at home against St. Louis. Dallas, fresh off their Monday night victory against Carolina, is discovering itself. Denver's 3-0 record has surprised many, but Dallas's visit to the Mile High City with 1 day less to prepare won't keep it from notching a 3rd victory against Denver. In the big Sunday night game, Pittsburgh returns home after a disappointing road loss to Cincinnati to face San Diego, probably without LaDainian Tomlinson, but with Phillip Rivers, one of the game's most profound and prolific quarterbacks. San Diego is good, but isn't as hard-hitting as the reigning champs, and that factor won't help at Pittsburgh's Heinz Field. Look for Pittsburgh to serve its fans a home-cooked victory. In the equally big Monday night game at Minneapolis' Hubert Humphrey Metrodome, it's Minnesota hosting Green Bay. On that field over the years, future Hall of Fame QB Brett Favre has provided many exciting moments for the Green Bay Packers. Monday night, he'll attempt to break out the flint and steel wearing Minnesota purple and white. Both teams have aspirations in the black and blue division. Home field has traditionally mattered in those games. Monday night should be the same. I'm picking Favre and Minnesota. Well, those are our picks for the upcoming games in Week 4. If history means anything, 75% will be right on the money. I only wish I could tell you which 25% might be wrong. Well, good luck with your picks. Get them in before Sunday at noon. You can change any of your picks up to 1 hour before that game kicks off. But remember, when the clock ticks within an hour of the kick, it freezes your pick. And now, time for an inside tip you can't lose on anytime you try it.
Hi, this is Charles Rutka, General Manager of Logan's Roadhouse. When is a great day to have a Logan's Roadhouse Express lunch? Any day of the week. The grill's hot and waiting on you. Logan's Roadhouse, Skybow Road, Fayetteville.